If you're here for day 17, that's fantastic. Grab your worksheet and let's get started. The first section is capitalization. And today we are looking at that you would capitalize the names of organizations, programs, businesses, and institutions. And then they have a list and several examples of each of those. We'll apply that now in the sentence. An Englishman, James Smithson, gave money to found the Smithsonian Institution, which houses numerous museums, including the National Air and Space Museum. So let's take a look at that sentence. What do we know so far? Well, of course, you know that you capitalize the first word in a sentence. Englishman would also be capitalized because it's a person who comes from England, and England is capitalized, so Englishman would also be capitalized. We have the guy's name, of course it's capitalized. Gave money to found the Smithsonian Institution. We just said names of institutions are going to be capitalized, so the S in Smithsonian and the I in institution would be capitalized, which houses numerous museums, including the National Air and Space Museum. That is the name of the museum, and so it would be capitalized. The N, the A, the S, and the M. So here's what it's going to look like on your paper. An Englishman, James Smithson, gave money to found the Smithsonian Institution, which houses the National Air and Space Museum. Next, we have punctuation. Place a comma after an introductory word or phrase in a sentence. Yes, comma, I agree, or by the way, I don't agree. You can see how they place the comma directly after the introductory word. So in the sentence that you have, yes, I agree with your dad. You should invite Annie, the new neighbor. There's actually two things that are going to happen here. One is using the information that you just used about an introductory word or phrase in a sentence. And the other is a flashback to the semicolons. So let's see what we've got here. Yes, comma, I agree with your dad, semicolon. You should invite Annie, comma, which is an appositive, the new neighbor, period. Okay, so actually there were three things. I said there were two things. You've got the introductory, yes, I agree with your dad, semicolon. You should invite Annie, comma, the new neighbor, period. All right, so we had an introductory word, then we had the need for a semicolon because we have two independent phrases, and then we have the appositive that needs to be set off by a comma as well. So a lot of things in that sentence. Next, phrases and clauses. A clause contains a subject and a verb. An independent clause can stand alone as a sentence. A dependent clause cannot stand alone as a complete thought or sentence. This is a review. You've had this before. You're going to write I see if it's an independent clause and DC if it's a dependent clause. A, Justin hates to dance. That's a complete thought. It can stand alone. It is an I see. Just below it, B, after we are finished. After we are finished, what? We don't know. So that's a DC, that's a dependent clause. We need more information to get a complete idea. C, whenever the chef is tired. Whenever the chef is tired, what? We don't know. It's not a complete thought. That means it is a DC, a dependent clause. We need more information to finish the sentence. And then D, try this new flavor of ice cream. That's a complete thought. The subject in that sentence is the understood you. This is an imperative sentence. We practiced those yesterday, I believe. Try this new flavor of ice cream. That is an independent clause. The subject is the understood you, and then the rest of the sentence would be try this new flavor of ice cream. Independent clause. So we have A, I, C, B, DC, C, DC, and D, I, C. Parts of speech, nouns. An example of a concrete noun is and an abstract noun is. If you remember, we just had a review of that. Concrete nouns have atoms in them. You can touch them, you can feel them, you can see them. A concrete nose could be glasses, nose, t-shirt, marker, computer. An abstract noun is something that you can't see. It's not composed of atoms. It's like a thought. Things like that would be charity, justice, faith, hope, love, goodness, kindness. You can't see any of those things. Then we have the sentence combining section. 3 sentences that need to be combined into one. You guys are doing great with that. I'll be happy to read what you come up with. And that's it for today. This was a short one. Yay! God bless you.